Most people think that they're using AI correctly. They're not. On one hand, you have people that use ChatGPT, Claude, and they use it for thinking. They use it for recipes, summaries, ideas. On the other side, you have people using AI for actual execution. And that gap is getting bigger every single day. Because if you can use AI for doing tasks and getting things done, you're gonna move 10 times faster than someone who's not. Tools like Claude Code are changing how businesses move every single day. And if you don't understand how Claude Code, and Claude Cowork can work together for your business, you're falling behind. My name is DhungJoo Kim. I've built multiple 7-figure businesses with AI, automations, and virtual assistants. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Claude Code, and Claude Cowork, what the differences are between the three, and how each of them can help grow your business. Here's the simplest way to think about it. Claude helps you think. Claude Code helps you build and ship. And Claude Cowork helps you operate. That mental model is this whole video. If you remember those 3 lines, you'll be ahead of most companies that are trying to use AI now. So let's start with Claude itself. And when I say Claude in this video, I'm talking about the general Claude experience. Anthropic's overview explicitly shows Claude being used for data analysis, visualizations, research, and task support with connected tools. So the problem is, I need to think through this better, or I need a strong first draft, or I need synthesis, think about using Claude. Here's how you can use Claude in your business. Let's say you're a founder and you need to prepare for a board update. You need to create a presentation. Claude is great at taking scattered notes, customer feedback, maybe some metrics, some documentation, turning that into a clean narrative. It's great at synthesizing information that you already have. And this is the limitation with Claude. It does not become truly operational leverage just because it gave you an answer. A good answer is not the same as shipped work. And that's where a lot of businesses get stuck. They're using AI at the thinking layer, but not at the execution layer. And that's why Claude Code matters. Claude Code is Anthropic's agentic coding tool. Officially, Anthropic says it can read your code base, edit files, run commands, integrates with development tools, and it's available in your terminal. What that means is, let's say you have a website and you want to edit something on it. You can connect Claude directly to the repo or your code base of your website and tell Claude, hey, change the heading on the homepage to X, Y, and Z. Switch out this image, or create a new block for me on our blogs page. Whereas before, if you're just using general Claude, you have to ask it, write me a blog. Then you have to copy and paste it into a document, and you have to set it to your web developer. Then your web developer goes into your website and updates it. Claude Code will edit code directly for you. And you can open it in your terminal, you can open it in your IDE, you can open it in a desktop app, and you can code websites, apps, software from scratch, and Claude Code will code it for you. Which means this is a very different product. This is no longer give me an answer. This is give me shipped product. How can Claude Code actually help in your company? So first, code-based audits. If you have an existing product, you have an internal app, or maybe a messy repository, Claude Code can help you structure faster, explain what's happening, identify weak points, and point you towards risky areas. Second, bug fixes. Most bugs aren't difficult, they're just annoying, and they sit around because no one really wants to work on them. Claude Code is great for that kind of work. And it's not gonna magically replace an engineer, but you can probably do it yourself. And third, a great use case for Claude Code is if you have some sort of internal tooling or scripts that you need to do, you can create it yourself. Here's a concrete example. Imagine you run a home cleaning company and your leads come in from 3 different places. It comes from Google LSA, it comes from Thumbtack, Angie's List. Your team is probably manually exporting spreadsheets, cleaning records, trying to merge data, and cleaning up the CRM every single day. And that workflow is not a huge product, right? But if you were to go out and try to buy a software that helps you with that today, they might charge you $500 a month. Claude Code can be that glue for you. You can give exactly what software you use, how you export the data, if there's an API exposed, and you can tell Claude all of this information and it can generate a small software for you internally that you can use for pretty much for free. This basic tool you could probably build in a couple of hours with Claude Code. And that's real leverage because now it saves you time. Here's another example. Let's say you have a pre-existing software product, a webhook bug, or a flaky edge case. Claude Code is perfect for that world. It can inspect the code base, it can suggest a fix, it can update files, it can even push PR requests so you can manually go and review when it changed. And this means you can move from just telling your developer, we should fix this, to fixing it yourself, or having the developer fix it even faster. And this gets even more interesting when you look at the plugin ecosystem. You can connect it to DevTools, Stripe, Asana, GitHub directly. You can connect it to Zapier, Prisma. You can connect it to your database. And now you can imagine debugging something like, fix this checkout issue with Stripe. Go fix this header on the home page and push it to my GitHub. Go review this support pattern with Intercom. Go manage my task in Asana. Now we can go from just a chatbot to an actual technical operator or developer. Now, let's move to the third layer, Claude Cowork. You can think about Claude Cowork as sort of a microscopic intern that lives inside of your computer. You can basically operate whatever you can on your computer. It can access your files, it can access the browser, you can access Excel documents, it can connect to the apps on your computer, and you can tell it what to do in general language. Maybe you have some spreadsheet that you have to edit every single day and in a relatively repeated format. You can tell Claude Cowork every day at 5 a.m. go fix this for me before I wake up. You can tell Claude Cowork, go into my downloads folder, organize the files, delete anything I don't need, mark something that you're not sure about and flag them to me, rename them sensibly, and create structured output from the messy input. And maybe that sounds small, but let's multiply that across a real company. Let's say you want a weekly sales recap. What would you normally have to do? You have to log into your CRM, you have to go to the analytics dashboard, you have to pull a report, or you could tell Claude Cowork one time every Friday at 9 a.m., log into this software, pull this dashboard, put it into a Google Doc, and send me a PDF. So Claude Cowork is built for these longer running tasks, scheduled tasks, local file access, browser access, and polished outputs like spreadsheets and presentations. So instead of asking AI for another draft in the chat that you are then going to have to copy and paste into a document or reformat into a presentation, Claude Cowork can actually give you the finished product. And this means Cowork has a customization layer. So you can connect tools that you're already using and have Claude Cowork autonomously run workflows on them. So again, let me make this distinction clear. Claude is thinking, Claude Code is execution, and Claude Cowork is operations. And this is why businesses get so disappointed when they say, we tried AI and it didn't help. That means they used a thinking layer for a problem that needed the execution layer. Or they opened the chat when they needed code changes. Or they asked for ideas when they needed a script. The problem is not always the model. A lot of the time it's just a workflow, because nowadays the model is good enough. So if you're a founder, operator, or small team, here's a model that I would use. Do not ask which AI tool sounds the coolest or what model's the best. At this point, the models are all pretty comparable. You should be deciding between, do I need thinking, do I need code, or do I need back office admin work? Companies that win are not the ones with just the best ideas. They're the ones that turn ideas into shipped work faster. Claude can help you think better, Claude Code can help you ship faster, and Claude Cowork can help you operationalize and hand off work. This is a real opportunity for a business owner. To actually set up Claude, Claude Code, and Claude Cowork, you're just gonna go to claude.com, go to /download. And you'll notice that you can actually access Claude Chat, Claude Cowork, and Claude Code all in one place with one desktop app. So download it, install, drag it over to your applications. Now, once you sign into Claude, you can do Claude Chat like how you normally do, right? You say, give me a dinner recipe for tonight. I have chicken, lemon, rice, broccoli in my fridge. And this is what most people use Claude Chat for. Now, Claude Cowork, this is different. Claude Cowork, you can do something like create a presentation for my board on Friday. So again, you can generally have Claude Chat do a lot of these things, but it's gonna do it in piecemeal parts. It's gonna give you the output in like a text format, and you're gonna copy and paste it into these different things. Whereas if you use Claude Cowork, it can access all of the files on your computer, it can access the browser, it can connect to all these different tools and actually work automated for you. In Claude Code, now you want to connect this to, let's say, a website. So for example, this is our Cherry Assistant website, and you can say something like, update the H1 for me on my homepage, right? Or you can say every day, generate an SEO optimized blog and publish it Monday through Friday. You can see the possibilities. Obviously, you would want to do a much more in-depth prompt than this one, but you get the idea of how you can use all three different pieces. What you'll notice in the difference between Claude Chat, Claude Cowork, and Claude Code is you can see what kind of features that they provide. So Claude Chat, you have the new chat, you have projects, which is basically folders for the different chats that you use. Customize, which means you can connect your different apps that you use or create new skills. And there's artifacts. So if you have documents that you want to save and reuse them in other chats, you put them in here. And you probably know most of this already in terms of how you use Claude Chat. Now, if you use Claude Cowork, you'll see some different options, which explains a little bit more about how it's used differently. So you have a new task, which you can think of it as kind of a chat. You have projects, again, folders for your different tasks or chats. And here's where the difference comes in terms of Cowork being more of an agent or an operational component than just Claude Chat. You can go to scheduled, meaning if your computer is awake, you can have Claude Cowork actually run tasks for you. You can customize Claude, and again, similar to Claude Chat. But you'll notice that you have a little bit more options. You have browse plugins, you have Claude skills, you have Claude apps, and you have dispatch, which means if let's say you have your Claude Cowork agent running on your computer and it's doing some tasks, and let's say you got to run out for lunch, but you can chat with it from your phone and have it update and make edits while you're on your phone without having to look at your computer. In Claude Code, I think you kind of understand the difference now, but it's really just for coding. If you found this video helpful, like and subscribe, and I'll keep making videos about AI content, workflows, and how to scale your business. Comment below what types of videos that you want to see, and any links that I showed in this video I'll put in the description. Thanks, and see you next time.